Hey, I'm Pete Holman, Director of Business Development here at TRX and inventor of the TRX Rib Trainer. I wanted to share with you some of the benefits of TRX Rib Training and some basic progressions today. The Rib Trainer is a great device because in everyday life and sports, there's forces that act upon our body, especially in the transverse plane. The Rib Trainer is specifically designed to help control those rotational forces and then produce rotation. That's very athletic and it's called upon in everyday life and sports. Every time we take tension on this cable, on the resistance cord, it's trying to throw me off balance, trying to disengage my core rotators, right? So I've got to engage my abdominals, my hips, my low back to prevent rotation. The beautiful thing about the Rib Trainer is the lever bar, okay? The further my hands are away from the support cord, the harder the exercise becomes and the more rotational stress that goes through my core. Okay? That's how you can adjust intensity in real time, and that's how you get a lot of rotational force development out of your core muscles. Progressions start with just a basic plank, right? Anterior kinetic chain plank. Then, once we have a solid plank, we can start moving the upper kinetic chain, right? Pushing, right? Shoulder flexion. Once we feel comfortable there, we engage the lower kinetic chain. Hip hinge, squatting. From that, it's a progression of a compound joint motion, right? Squatting and pressing. Then it gets fun. We start alternating footwork, getting agility going, getting the lunging progressions, and eventually ballistic motions. Very difficult to control your body in air while the cord's trying to counter-rotate you. Now, we worked on the anterior kinetic chain. Obviously, you got to balance things out. So we go posterior kinetic chain. Same kind of progression, right? Planking posture here, and we can add movement of the upper kinetic chain, right? Movement of the lower kinetic chain, and then combination motions, right? Getting into stepping, lunging, and then jumping patterns. Where it gets fun is when we get in the lateral, facing lateral to the anchor point, right? Because here we can start to not just control the planking postures, but actually start to produce rotation through the hips, right? That's where our power comes from as athletes, controlling rotation, producing rotation through the hips, adding stepping patterns, right? And eventually ballistics. Now, the bar path has been primarily linear, but I'm not limited to that, right? I can make this path of motion be in arcs, in circles, right? I can do isometric holds, I can do pulsation strikes, really challenging that core to both stabilize and to produce rotation. The beauty of this is the elastic cord has low loads at the start of the motion, right? So I can accelerate through the strength curve. And then at the end, I have all the stored kinetic potential energy, right? At the end of the cord. I've got to control that and then decelerate. So it's this controlling deceleration and then accelerating that makes it a very athletic tool. If you want more information, check us out at trxtraining.com. And if you want to improve your performance, mitigate the risk of injury to your low back, and just have a fun new toy to play with, check us out and get a TRX Rib Trainer.